Hey everybody, Geauxburns, giving you survival tips for any of you that are new to survival in Grand Theft Auto Online or would like some pointers to help improve your game. Now, the first wave has gone by pretty fast. I haven't gotten many kills because I like to approach survival in the standard duck and cover strategy, as opposed to what I would call the deathmatch routine, which is running around shooting the enemy. Now, that works pretty well in the first couple rounds because the enemy's very weak, they're easy to take down, and they have very weak weapons. So deathmatch style works for maybe 2-3 waves, but then it becomes a lot more difficult to use that against the enemy. And of course, a moment ago you just saw me grab the combat machine gun ammo, which spawns only in Wave 3. Also in Wave 3, you'll see vehicles begin to form. And the vehicles are worth 25 points if you blow them up in the wave that they spawn in. So that's additional RP for you, just like each enemy you kill is 10 points. So if you have a chance to destroy the vehicles without getting yourself killed in the process, I would recommend you take out the vehicles. And extra RP adds up. That's what it's all about, because there's two sets of RP. There's the standard wave RP you get for each wave you pass, and of course the additional RP for kills, like enemies and vehicles. And one of the easiest weapons to use to take out vehicles, whether they're trucks, vans, or helicopters, is the minigun, which you get once you rank at 120. But you can get it during the game, temporarily, if you haven't gotten to 120. And if that's the case, then I recommend you be very sparing with what ammo you have for the minigun. Save the minigun ammo for the helicopters, because that is what you need to take out. And I use several weapons when I play. I like to use the light carbine rifles in the first several waves, but then I switch to the heavy combat rifle, because machine gun, because the machine gun not only has a much better punch and takes out enemies a lot easier, it also has way more rounds. And once you get that gun at rank 80, you can, after, 81 or 82, you rank up a couple times, and then you're able to get up to 200 rounds for the combat machine gun, which is pretty sweet and way better than the max for the carbine rifles, which is 80 rounds. So 200, much better than 80. And then, of course, you see this helicopter. I'm going to shoot a couple rounds at it with my machine gun. Not really intending to, take it down, but you never know. Sometimes you get lucky. But in this situation, you always want to focus on the ground enemies first. Take them out before taking on the helicopter. You want these guys out of the way. They're easier to kill, but in numbers, if you focus your attention on the helicopter, they can and will gang up on you and can take you out before you even realize it. So get these guys first. Kill them quickly, find them, just bam, take them out. And don't worry about the helicopter. As long as you're in a defendable position, it's not going to wreak any damage on you. And if it does manage to hit you, as long as you got some armor and you got a shield and health, you'll be okay. And that's another important thing. In between waves, get stuff. If you're low on health, get health. If you have no armor, get armor. You got to get this stuff in between waves. Take advantage of those few seconds that you have. And also, loot bodies. That's right, the bodies of the fallen enemies will have different types of weapons, from pistols to shotguns to carbine rifles to even machine guns, and later on miniguns as well. Get that ammo in between waves. Do not just sit there waiting for the next wave. Take advantage of the situation. I mean, that's an opportunity for you to get yourself back up to full strength, and to stock up on as much ammo as you can, get your claws on. So you may have noticed that the guy I was playing with just died again. Using the deathmatch strategy in survival is not a way to ensure success and making it through all 10 waves. You have to get behind cover. You have to be smart. Don't be stupid like I am right here, because I get shot up pretty bad. I'm lucky to survive because I fell out of cover for a moment. You don't want to do that. Always try and have cover. I mean, there are times when you have the advantage and you know exactly where the enemy is on the map, and you can get from here to here without being injured, then go for it. Sometimes you have to travel across the map in order to kill one last baddie. That's fine, I get that. But when you're outnumbered and they're coming after you, let them come to you. I guess I do this because I have experience as a hunter, and I'm used to the prey coming after me. And right there, I let that guy come after me, and what I did was I used the right trigger only in that situation. So you pull the gun around the corner without exposing yourself, and it doesn't have auto aim because you're not holding down the left trigger, but by using the right trigger you can manually aim your gun, whether it's the machine gun you wish to use or a shotgun, a pistol, or a carbine rifle in that situation, to take out the enemy without exposing yourself to gunfire. So that's a really good way to see. I'm doing it once again. Use the right trigger only in that situation. It actually wasn't until several weeks ago that I finally learned how to do that. I saw several people playing survival with me that would do that, and I always wondered, how the hell are they doing that? And one day by luck, it just happened. I did it by accident. I'm like, that's how you do it. Believe me, I've been adding that to my strategy, and I've noticed a huge improvement over the way I've been performing in survival. Now, once you get to a certain distance, you start to realize that the enemy is becoming more difficult to kill. And as they become more difficult to kill, they're also going to be bringing out heavier arsenal to take you out, which is another big reason why you want to take them out as quickly as possible. You try and you gun down as many of them as you can. And headshots are the best way to go. Pop them right in the head if you can. If you knock them to the ground, just keep unloading until they are dead. Don't allow them to get back up. Take them out. And if you have a chance, take out vehicles, because as I mentioned already, that is extra RP. And no, I didn't just kill my partner. He was over there by this truck. And I intentionally did not blow up the truck a moment ago because I did not want to kill my teammate. And that's one thing you have to be mindful of when you're playing survival. Realize where your teammates are. And it looks like my teammate just left. I don't know what happened to him, whether he had issues with his internet or something else, but that's okay. We will go the rest of the way on our own. You can play survival by yourself. I mean, especially Boneyard, because in my opinion, it's probably the easiest of the survivals. But it's not really recommended. It's a lot more fun to play with other teammates, other people in Grand Theft Auto Online. And there you go. See, I just blew up that truck. And this is a good way to take out any guys that get over there. You know, just pull the trigger and automatically you turn around and auto aim and bam, you take them out. Because that's always very difficult in Boneyard right there. And there's several survivals, obviously, in Grand Theft Auto Online. And eventually I'll do another video on how I rank them, you know, my favorites and least favorites and why. And I'm also going to be doing a future video about ways that I think Rockstar can actually enhance the survival experience. One way I would say is give us the opportunity to create our own survivals, because right now there's only 7 survivals. And speaking of 7, we are in Wave 7, which means sometimes the helicopter shows up, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes 2 helicopters show up. And you always got to be prepared for that situation. It can go either way. Either no helicopter, which usually happens if you're by yourself, or if you got a full team and you're doing a really good job, 2 helicopters come out of nowhere. And the same strategy as in Wave 4, take out the enemies on the ground first. Take them out first, avoid the helicopter until that's all that's left, then go after them. And gun it down and tear it up. And there's several ways you can take down a helicopter. The easiest is the minigun, so if you've already ranked 120, make sure you have plenty of minigun ammo. And here's a kind of a glitch for you if you want to know how to easily and cheaply restock your minigun ammo. All you got to do is, well, die using your minigun while playing survival. Make sure, though, you still have other teammates alive, and I would do it near the end of a wave. Say, for example, if you see one bad guy left and you have at least one fellow teammate, run up to him with the minigun and don't shoot at him, let him kill you, and when you respawn you'll have the max number of minigun ammo. Something I learned the other day. Just a little tip for anyone who wants to know. It's a lot cheaper than going to ammunition and, you know, buying it. So one of the benefits of survival, not to mention the points you earn, and of course the $20,000 if you manage to beat all 10 waves. So definitely We're on to wave 8 now, and it's becoming more difficult, but that's okay. It might seem intimidating to anybody new with survival, but after a while, practice makes perfect. You gain experience. It's not such a big deal, especially as I've pointed out several times, you're not going it alone like I am right now. When you go it alone, it becomes more difficult, but it's not impossible, especially if you play the most popular of the survivals, which is Boneyard. And the truth is, I like to play Boneyard with a maximum of 3 players, including myself. When it's 4 players on Boneyard, it always feels kind of overcrowded, so I always try and avoid Boneyard when it's filled with 4 people. But the other ones have a little bit more of a challenge to them, and as I said a moment ago, I will rank them in a future video. Now we're getting into wave 9, and this is when the enemy brings out the big guns, literally. They have combat machine guns, they have miniguns, and they're the most difficult to kill. So you want to be extra careful when taking them out in waves 9 and 10, because they will hurt you. You make one mistake and you're dead, especially if you're the last one standing in your crew. That's the way I always play this game. It doesn't really matter to me if I'm the only one playing and everyone else is dead, or there's a full house. There's all 4 people playing a survival. I always play as if I don't want to die. And you kind of like play in real life. Like, I don't really want to die in real life, so I'm going to do what I can to try and keep myself alive and inflict as much damage as possible on the enemy. So that's the way I look at it. I don't like the deathmatch strategy, but some people like it. Some people are good at it. I've just never really been very proficient at deathmatch. I'm okay, but I wouldn't call myself a deathmatch superstar. But survival, I'd like to say I'm pretty good at. Now here I'm just goofing off, and I'm using a combat machine gun, which obviously takes a lot longer than a grenade, a rocket launcher, or a minigun to blow up the vehicle, but I still got myself some RP doing so. And I knew that I wasn't going to get hurt, and I just took that guy out who had a minigun. I was waiting for him. Used the right trigger once again to pull the gun around so I wouldn't, make myself exposed to injury or possibly even getting killed by the guy. Because, they fire on you with that minigun, it won't take long to take you out. I mean, you could have maximum shield in health like I do right now, and, a couple shots from a minigun, you're toast. Even a couple shots from the combat machine gun, like what I'm using, it can take you out. A well-placed shot, boom, you're dead. Wave's over. You're being sent back to free mode. So definitely, and just keep taking them out. Just be patient. And you may have noticed that there's a bit of editing here, because there were moments where I had to sit there and wait for the enemy. And of course, I took a chance here. I nearly get taken out. I lose all my armor. But fortunately, I get behind that cover, and I'm able to take out that last enemy. Now we're in the final wave, wave 10, the most difficult wave to beat. Because not only is the enemy at full health, they have the best weapons, like the minigun and the machine gun, plus there's at least 1 helicopter coming after you. And now this can change, it really depends. When I play by myself and I get to wave 10, usually there's only 1 helicopter. But if you have a full house, there can be 2 to 3 helicopters, depending on how well you and your teammates are playing. And the same strategy with wave 4 and wave 7. Always focus on the enemy on the ground first. Take these guys out. Take the pawns out. Don't worry about the helicopter just yet. You can save the helicopter for last. Because right now, you got to make it through wave 10. And you're so close to the end that if you make one mistake, if you slip and fall behind cover at the wrong time, or decide to run from this point to that point, and one of those guys is in the right spot with a minigun or a combat machine gun, or that helicopter is coming overhead, you'll be gone in seconds. 1 second, you're at full health, full armor. Next second, boom, wave's over. You failed. But this time, that's not the case for me. My patience has paid off. I've taken out all the enemies on the ground, and the helicopter is gone. Goodbye. Wave over. I win. Pay me at the door, 20 G's. And that's my tips on how you can get better or improve at survival. That's for people that are new to survival and Grand Theft Online, people that have been playing survival, having trouble with it. I hope that I had some good points for you. And if you're a survival veteran as me and you have some additional points to add, some things I may have forgotten about or left off, or your own opinion on how to do a better job at making it from wave to wave all the way to the end, feel free and leave your comments below. They're all appreciated, your thoughts, views, and opinions. And if you want to play some survival with me online, I go by Geauxburns on Xbox Live and Rockstar Social, so be sure and friend me on there. Like the video if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later.